Would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent, thank you.
Yeah. First of all, welcome to Guadalajara. How do you feel to be in here?
I really like the city.
Yes?
You know, I've gotten to see a bit of it. I've never been here before. I've been to Mexico City many times. I've been to other cities around Mexico, but this is a really special place. And I love this film festival that I'm attending, seeing all these young film students so excited about cinema. It's wonderful.
We love cinema here.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It's great.
We're here to talk about your new film, Black Phone, The Black Phone. And this is one of your most personal movies, and it's also an adaptation of Joe Hill's book. And I want to ask you, how do you combine what is in the book with your own experiences in the film?
Well, it sort of worked naturally for me because I really liked Joe's story, and for years I could never figure out how to expand it because there wasn't enough there for a movie. You know, Finney had no home life in the short story. He had no school life in the short story. So I didn't know really who he was or you know, where he'd come from. That was anything I had a way into. And it started by me wanting to make a movie really about my own childhood and being 12 years old in the late 1970s and in a violent kind of blue-collar neighborhood. And it was when I thought about, well, wait a minute, what if I took all that and combined that with Joe Hill's short story? And then I thought, that's gonna work. And then, so it was kind of like I finally found a way into Joe's story. And that's really what The Black Phone is the combination of those two things.
You're clearly a horror movie fan. And I want to ask you, as a horror movie director, how do you feel about the fact that Sinister is now one of iconic horror movie in the culture?
You know, it's really wonderful. You know, that was also a very personal movie. That was a movie that was made really out of where I was at that time, very specific things that I was dealing with about my own identity and my own sort of struggling success at the time. I really related to Ellison Oswalt, Ethan's character, you know. And for that story then to go on to have the life that it has now, you know, it just seems to be getting more popular with time. And that's something every filmmaker dreams of, you know. And I love the fact that film means, you know, to some young filmmakers what, you know, a film like Taxi Driver or The Exorcist mean to me. You know, these films that informed my entire understanding of cinema.
For Black Phone, you work again with Ethan Hawke, and I want to ask you what was it like work with him again in a horror movie, but this time as the villain of the movie?
It was very different. You know, we were just getting to know each other when we made Sinister, and we've been friends ever since. So I've known him for 10 years now, you know, and we have stayed in touch. But with Sinister, he was the one who was getting scared, you know, so I felt like I had to really direct him a lot in that and sort of talk to him about the timing of scenes and how it would work and how it would be effective. I didn't have to do that with him as a villain, you know. I basically just gave him the really scary masks and the lines to the script and kind of let him go. And he just did amazing things. And when we would shoot, sometimes we would do a shot that we would do, say, 4 or 5 takes, and he would give me 3 or 4 different versions. You know, he was just really dynamically creating on the set and I think discovering who the grabber was as he went.
Did the mask that Ethan Hawke used in the movie, do the mask have a meaning beyond the aesthetic?
Yes, for sure. It's a good question. I think that you know, it's a way for the grabber to hide himself enough to be honest and to be truthful and vulnerable with what he feels. Most of the time, I think he's just speaking what he really feels. Sometimes he's being very manipulative, but most of the time he's being authentic. The mask is what lets him do that. And specifically, and Ethan and I did talk about this, the different pieces of the mask that he wears in different scenes are very deliberate. There's one scene when he's sitting against the wall and Finney wakes up and sees him there, and he's wearing the smile mask, but not the top part, so you can see his eyes. And he very specifically wanted Finney to be able to see the look in his eyes, and I wanted the audience to be able to see the look in his eyes. And it's very disturbing, this sort of awful, predatory character and this look in his eyes with a smile mask. So it was all very specific and always had purpose and intention.
And it works amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the interview, and nice to meet you.
Hey, so nice to meet you. Thank you.